Alright, so here we are. The Drake Interplanetary Defensecon. Currently streaming to you live. 720p. The performance has gotten considerably worse since I've gotten down here. It could just be when I'm rendering in real time. More likely, it's the fact that we have so much activity going on down here. So Drake has their own show. I really hope this like sets the tone and pace for the other manufacturers, because my immediate impression is that this is probably the best um, exposition I've been to in Star Citizen. Like the IAE expos are always a treat because you get to see all of the ships in the verse, all the manufacturers show up, but this feels distinctively Drake, and I think that's why I like it so much. Like this is Drake. Like the music that's playing in the background, um, and just the design of it. It's like they really just made this entire floor their own, and they're the only manufacturer that has this. Now, from a lore point of view, it makes more sense to have you know to have Drake be the first one, or basically the main one, and as far as Defensecon is concerned, because Defensecon is, from my understanding, yeah, like you got the Star Citizen music playing over the Drake music. Drake music is way better. It's got a nice industrial beat to it, even though it's like pretty much the same stanzas, like the same two stanzas on repeat. But Drake is all about malicious. Like that's what makes Drake so popular. And if you ask any player group in Star Citizen, any group of players, that like completes missions and do their own thing, like what their favorite ship is, they're gonna say the Cuddy. they're all going to say the Cuddy or the Caddy, one of the two. They're both Drake ships. Um, so there's a reason why this manufacturer is so beloved by um, members of the Star Citizen community. And if there's one thing that I love about Drake is that they don't come with ejection seats, and they're very rugged. Like there's just a certain masculinity to these ships, the way that they're designed, the way that they can literally be retrofitted to carry out any type of mission that you may have for them. Like just the Cutlass Black is the most versatile ship in the game. There's literally on the floor right now no fewer than 8 variants of the same ship. And then, of course, this is the world famous Caterpillar, which is great for mining operations and the like. And, one of the funnest ships I've ever flown is right there. It looks like a giant bug. It's literally a booster rocket with a cockpit attached to it. Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about with Drake. Drake, they're not about elegance. They're not about pomp and circumstance. They're about rugged, you know get it doneness. And that's the one thing that I like about them. Their ships are all. I wouldn't go so far as to say they're ugly. Like I like the Drake design, but they just have a very very aggressive. Like look at this. You've got exposed pipes. You've got paneling and screws. Like there's no consideration to like an artistic aesthetic. Everything that you see on the Drake ship is purpose built. There's no nonsense. If you get on the Drake ship, everything's metal. The floor is metal. You're not gonna get any fancy vodka bars or wood grain paneling. It's purpose built. Okay. The Drake the Drake ships go harder than military vessels. All right. You get on board like an Anvil or an Aegis, They even have a more visually pleasant aesthetic than the Drake does. Drakes are just rugged, boom, boom, boom to the point. Like every dollar that you spend, or every credit that you spend on a Drake ship, you're paying for it to do something. You're not paying for aesthetics. You're not paying for art. You're not paying for comfort. You're paying for, intuitiveness. And I just made that word up actually, so don't at me. Um, but yeah, so these are concepts. All the ships on the main floor I've flown, and you can look at my VODs or other YouTube videos to see me fly those. And there's tons of content out there that will show you just what those ships are about. I see that a lot of ships are available for you to fly, and so what that tells me is this is like a little special event, which I think is pretty sweet. I think it's really good, really cool that they're doing that. But we're looking forward to the concept ships. We're looking forward to this bad boy right here, and I would love to be able to rent it and take it for a spin. Like, I would love to, but we'll see. CAG's got a lot on their plate. Server stability is number one. Server stability and performance and things like that. I mean, I wouldn't complain so much about performance if I had a juicier GPU, but my little workhorse is doing all right. But yeah, as you can see, like it's Drake is the manufacturer for the pirate. It's the manufacturer for the mercenary, the bounty hunter. The type of person that that most players are going to be. Anvil and Aegis are all UEE contractors. Drake is, your private sector manufacturer. Law enforcement, local law enforcement. Well, I mean, it could be publicly funded when you talk about local law enforcement. I would just say non-military, so civilian, basically. Civilian defense contractor is what Drake is. So if you're a pirate, if you're a mercenary, if you're a bounty hunter, if you're a cop, or a non-profit, you have the Crusader, the Crusader Mercury series and Starlifter series that helps, fill that niche as well. But Drake is really going to be your go-to if you are one of those types of people. And I can pretty much tell you, again, people's opinions of Drake and what it's about and what it represents are universally positive. And, the Cutlass Black, which is basically this ship, is the most popular in the verse for a reason, because it has a great maneuverability, offensive, defensive capabilities, and you can drop a crack team of commandos on any planet. And compared to other drop ships, it's unrivaled. My favorite drop ship is the Anvil Valkyrie, but Cutlass Black is an incredible ship. It's an incredible ship. I remember the first time I flown it before it got nerfed. It was just a blast. It was just a blast to fly. Like not even vertically. Okay, not even vertically. It was a blast to fly. Or I should say, not even horizontally. It's a blast to fly vertically. Like I literally just pushed myself into space, going as fast as I could, just to see how long it took me to get to space, just using the vertical takeoff mode. Like you can't do that with other ships. Like other ships are supposed to make sense. This ship doesn't make sense. Drakes don't make sense, and that's why they're so cool, because they do what they do very, very well. But they have just some of the wackiest designs, and you can't help but love. Can't help but love Drake for that reason. And the slogan right there says it all. After the fleet launches, who's left to protect you? So they're pretty much telling you, hey, if you're a colony, if you're someone on the edge of space, you're gonna want to have our products. You know what I mean? Small arms ain't gonna cut it. So yeah, but yeah, that's Defensecon. Not too big, not too crazy. It's still Invictus week, but that should be wrapping up tomorrow or today. And another neat thing is that this Defensecon is located right next to the starport. So like, come on.
Remember, your belongings belong to you.
Like that's just the greatest thing. So I was able to rent some ships. And again, all of these I've flown. The Cutlass Black, I did not
Remember, your belongings belong
get a chance to really do justice to the last time I flown in it. So I'm gonna fly it again. I'm gonna fly it again, and just see if my opinion has changed on it. And again, I just want to reiterate, I do not hate the ship. Okay, I do not hate the ship. What I didn't like about it at the time was the fact that I didn't know how to fly it. That's it. It's not a fun solo ship. Okay, it's a team ship, and all of my reviews, most of the times I play this game, I play alone. I have people I can play with. I just like to do these alone. I can work at my own speed, take all the time that I want reviewing a part of the ship, and not have to worry about the needs of others. So that's why I do it this way. But yeah, so this is the walk around. I mean, I probably should keep recording. I was gonna just do Defensecon and then cut it off, but why not? Keep it compartmentalized. And then I gotta do my next Mass Effect episode as well. And I'll start shooting that right after. Alright. So as you can see, super simple, no frills, no bull. Like it's a ship that gets to the point. And if you're in a situation where you are under fire, or you need to react quickly to a threat, there's no other ship I'd want to be in. Like all the ships that I like, that I would love to, own and fly for myself, you don't have that level of access. They're large ships, multi-crew ships, and they have their strengths, they have their utilities. This ship has a quantum drive core, and it can get you from A to B relatively quickly. It can get you from A to B relatively quickly, and again, there's not a lot of BS. There's not any BS. Not not a small amount of BS. There's no BS. Like it's one of the best ships for that exact reason. It's all about the things that you as a pilot may need to get done, or you as a team, as a pirate. Big ships aren't anything to screw around with. So that's the one thing. Like, I'm trying to use my cruise control, and the ship doesn't even have cruise control. Or maybe it does. It could be a bug. I remember the ship having cruise control when I first flown it. Like, when I first flown this ship, I remember it having cruise control. So, it's most likely just a bug. Unless it's something that CIG changed. But my money's on it, you know, being bugged. But yeah, as you can see, you know, we're doing 170 meters per second in atmo. But check this out. That's pretty solid maneuverability there. You're not going to get that with any other dropship. I can tell you right now, you're not going to be able to do that with any other dropship. And so go into VTOL mode. And level ourselves out a bit. And yeah, that's the neat thing. That's the neat thing. Yeah, I think the instrumentation's a little bit off because normally when you move the you know, this little square, I mean this little icon towards the center, you level out. But if I do it, I don't level out. I start pitching upwards, which is what I don't want. But yeah, this is the neat thing about this ship, just the vertical takeoff and landing. And then if I just want to go, you know, Kerbal, Kerbal Space Program style, I can just, you know, max out. But yeah. And still no cruise control. So that's what my last review was, and that's what made me kind of, you know, when it came to this ship, because I'm like, cruise control is a must for flying, unless you're going to be just active all the time. But let's say I'm in the situation where I need to get out of my seat. You know, we got a gun here, right? There's a gun turret up top. What if I need to get out of my seat and engage? If I'm in EVA, then yeah, that's fine. You know, if I'm in a vacuum of space, yeah, that's fine. But if I'm in Atmo, I can't leave the cockpit. My ship will crash, which is what I found out the hard way last time. Like, like I legit crashed, you know, and it sucked. So like, you know, little things like that, is why I, you know, have just such a big problem with Cuddy. 'Cause it's annoying. It's annoying to have to constantly be on. But then I guess if everything worked perfectly, then this would be the perfect ship, right? And CIG decided to not make this ship the perfect ship, which makes sense. But I wish it were. Alright, someone's warped out. But yeah, let's go in Atmo. There goes my display again. But yeah, we'll go up. Alright, let's get our rate of ascension up. And there's Port Trussler there. Some more of the fireworks show. All right, so now just have to be patient because I don't have cruise control. Normally, in the ascension process, I would, pick on cruise control and explore the other parts of the ships. Now, there isn't much you can explore on a Cutlass Black, but that's probably another reason why this ship is so affordable compared to other ships, because it doesn't even have a cruise control package. It's just bare bones. Like, just look at the cockpit, man. Look at the cockpit, and tell me if this isn't a bare bones ship. Okay, this is literally a bare bones ship. It's designed with purpose in mind. It's not designed for anything else. Getting stuff from point A, point B, launching a raid on another ship. Ooh, that's nice. So yeah, this baby's got Gatlings for up close, and then energies for distance. And warning is about to rise on New Babbage, which we can tell from just the curvature of Microtech. They're heading right. So the downside to using a cruise control package is with all ships, you cannot go the maximum allotted speed. So by forcing the pilot to be attentive and focus on what's going on around him or them, you basically avoid that little problem. And so, like, I can decouple it, but I don't have to. Like, I was pretty much good flying free. But we are in orbit now. We are in orbit now. So we're gonna come to a stop, do our little spacewalk. Drop it in VTOL mode as well. And that should really take it out of VTOL mode. I almost passed out. Holy moly. Okay. Well, that's another feature of the Cuddy. And it's peaceful up here. Completely quiet. No noise. No space junk. No other players to try to ruin my day. And Microtech looks absolutely gorgeous up here, as does the Cuddy. Like, this is a photogenic ship. It's not elegant by any means, but it's a very pretty ship. Only downside is I can't get it come to a full stop without throwing the thrust on it. So, just weird little things that you don't have to worry about when you're flying other ships. You have to worry about with the Cutlass. But what does the Cutlass have over other ships, you may ask? Well, let's revisit it. Number one, the view, right? Because the seat actually sits up into the cockpit like so. So when you're not in the pilot seat, you get to see everything. If you're on a staking operation, this is a good ship to be in, right? Let's say you're planning an attack on an enemy vessel, enemy fleet even. Just sitting pretty, with your engines off, power off, just kind of floating adrift in space, you get a pretty good viewpoint. Um, Also, you've got your gun racks here, more storage. You've got twin bunks and twin lockers as well. Yeah, so you got two lockers right here and two seats. So this is really, a two-man ship. And let's go ahead and hop in the gun turret real quick. And we're gonna go ahead. Where's the power? Where's the power? Alright.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake Interplanetary craft. Your systems are online.
So, as if the pilot didn't already have enough firepower, this gun turret has an immense amount of firepower. And it's able to hit at any range. You just have to be careful not to fire on your own ship. Which doesn't look like I can, and I'm glad I can't. But yeah, so, that's, it, like, is this a great in-atmo turret? No, because you're not really going to be able to hit ground targets with this thing. But, that's not what this is for anyway. This is to keep air threats off of you. Because as someone who's fought against Cutlass Blacks, they are vulnerable if you can get in close to them. And that's why you need this gunner. And most ships are. That's not a shortcoming of a Cutlass. Like, that's just all ships. If you get in close. Alright. So this is just where the pilots hang out, cockpit, and now we go out. There isn't really a kitchenette, and again, this ship isn't designed for that. So you've got a place to sleep if you need to, but you're pretty much going to be chowing down on MREs and rations. Like, that's how it is. You get a little window just to see where you're going out into, but this is where the ship really comes alive. Okay, the view distance, and for everyone that's on board, you have two hatches here on the side, and you have a rear hatch in the back, which doubles as a ramp. So you can move large numbers of troops through the ramp, and it's actually a lot easier to do it because from the side there isn't a ramp that comes down, so it's better for everyone to just use the rear as an ingress point and then the sides as your egress. Also, if you're in an EVA situation, you can just do this. Got some, I got pretty good jump off that before my suit kicked in. But yeah, so, like, just imagine being able to board an enemy ship, that easy. And you can definitely do that. You get a couple of cutties on your side, and you're in the money. Okay. So just admiring more of the different details. CIG by proxy Drake have really outdone themselves. Or I should say it in reverse. Drake by proxy CIG have really outdone themselves in just the design of all of their ships. I mean, all of their ships look great, but I like studying the exterior of every ship because they tell a story, especially combat ships. Because every little port, every little detail tells a story. It tells you something about, you know, um, what this is designed to do and how it works. But yeah. And so ramp access shows up. This was with the most recent update. So previous updates you didn't have that. And you can still hurt yourself if you're not careful. So you do have to be careful of how you enter ships. But yeah, these doors all close pretty quick. And they're great. They're great. And you know, just that large area is why it can be repurposed. You know, so it really is the perfect bounty hunter seat. I mean, ship for that reason. All right, so let's go ahead and throw it back to flight mode, and let's test the speed. We want something mid-size, yeah. We'll go to Calliope. And I only know how to pronounce that because Felicia Day, the actress, named her daughter Calliope. So by the time my GPU catches up, we will already be at Calliope. Okay, but as you can see, it's a hop and a skip. I have flown other ships, like the 890 jump, for example, and it is the launch fleet's at Port Tressler. That's pretty cool. Guess we can go see that. But yeah, like some ships have like a much shorter wind up. This ship's quick. It's on it. It's on it. And as you can see, just how fast we're going. This is quick. This is quick. In case you didn't know, this is quick. So it's got great quantum drive speed. We did 2 jumps. We only used 1% quantum fuel. And we've been doing all of this flying around, and you know, we've only used 17% of our hydrogen fuel. So it's you know, it's great. It's great. And I just have to find Wrestler. In Atmo, I mean, you know, you're not gonna shatter any records, but most ships don't come alive until you're out. Anyway. So OM5. No, I overshot Tressler. The 101 kilometers. We might actually just be able to fly there. Because that's it right there. And we're traveling almost 1,000 meters a second, which is impressive. Again, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, as you can see, we are getting there at a pretty decent speed. 916 meters per second. Alright, cranking this baby up to max. Alright, so 1,114 meters per second is the max speed. and you can just see the difference. We've already gone 40 kilometers in just that length of time from when I started, and at this point we can start slowing down. Not gonna land or anything, we're just going to do a clean burn. So if I can get it below the line, then yeah, we're 31 kilometers away at this point. At 22 kilometers. So that's where we want to be. Now 351. Alright, so we do not want to fire weapons near it. We do not want to alarm it, because this vessel will destroy us. So, there it is. As you can see, the decoys are on and enabled. And that is the Javelin, the destroyer. Now, I could experience a 30k. Definitely gonna experience server lag, especially if other players are here. But just to simulate for you what I was talking about. And you really have to take advantage of the air brake. That's for sure. So yeah, we're at 82%. So hypothetically, and I also reviewed the Javelin as well. I visited the Javelin last week, I believe. So that's still up. But as you can see, boom. So just imagine you and your friends. All right, you're here with a bunch of friends. Just imagine just a bunch of, jacked, badass, heavily armored pirates, right? And there's your prize. You want to board that vessel, and you want to steal it. What ship can get you in and get you out without drawing too much attention? Looking at it. This ship is literally like it's a giant cargo ship with like a bunch of weapons attached to it. Human cargo ship. All right, it's got tons of open space. You can put vehicles here. Like let's say you had some dragonflies, some Drake dragonflies. You can literally take those out into EVA because the bikes work in EVA, and you can literally run interference on the ship. You can destroy the ship's guns before they even have a chance to react because you're on those little bikes. You can get in their kill zone. So, show you what I mean. So, you come in here. Of course, you're going to be coming in a lot faster on a bike. But, boom. If you stay right here, you cannot be shot by the pilot of the gun turret. You stay behind it, cannot be shot. And these turrets only turn so quickly. So you can see how these ships are pretty vulnerable. As much firepower as they can dish out, they need support vessels. Now this one, the Javelin, doesn't really need support vessels because it is packed to the brim with firepower. But just like I described, you'd have to get close to this ship, and a Cuddy can do it. Deploy your Marines, and then boom. This is a large ship. Like, me flying above it and over it doesn't feel like it's super big, but when you're inside it, it's pretty large. It's got 2 main levels, and that was the part that was open to the public. There's some parts that are not open to the public. But yeah, there's our door. Get onto the ship. So I don't know if in the future we're going to have little hacking tools that you can use to breach that. But yeah, like piracy is totally possible. Or let's flip the switch. Let's say you're not pirates. Let's say you are a mercenary reaction force that was employed by the UEE to get one of their ships back. So the ship was already taken over by pirates, and you need to go in with your team and recover the ship. Same deal, right? The Cutlass Black can carry a lot of people. Once a Cuddy gets into position and can drop off its payload, that's when the chaos ensues, because you could do a lot of damage with with just the people that you have on board. And from what I can tell, just looking at this ship itself, you have 3 docking ports. So port, starside, and of course the belly of the ship has a docking port as well. So you got 3 ways to get onto the ship. Just have to get it. You just have to get onto the ship. Well, I'm assuming there's 3 ways onto the ship. There's probably 2. It's like if we study this side of the ship, I'm not seeing a designated door. Unless that is it, but it's just covered by blast plating. You don't need as many ways onto the ship as you may think, because you have escape vessels, escape pods. What in God's name is that? Is that person dead? What in the... They're twitching, so yeah. This is a this is the member of the general public literally stuck in vacuum. Pretty safe to say they are dying. Like their body is convulsing at this point. They've probably died of exposure already, and now their body's just going through the motions. Um, Out here, you would freeze for sure. You probably freeze before you actually dealt with the serious consequences of, you know, death. I mean, I would try to put her out of her misery, but you know, this is an armistice zone. And even if it wasn't, discharging a gun next to a fucking vessel like this is the easiest way to get your cheeks clapped. Like seriously. So we will not be doing that. But you know, because this game is in alpha, you see so many unusual things, and that's another reason why I like it. I mean, you know, yes, we all want the game to be finished. Like, you know, I want it to be finished, you want it to be finished, everyone who plays Star Citizen wants it to be finished. But a small part of me is going to miss things like that. And that's what I was afraid of, which is why you want to use the ramp, get onto the ship. Even in EVA. Now, some ships have the enter EVA option, which avoids that clumsy base plant that you do every time you try to get back into a ship, but, you know. It's an alpha build, so it doesn't always work. So, now we're back at 83%, and that Imbus, it looks like Imbus. Yeah, let me scroll down. Because if it is Imbus, then we can just go ahead and hit it. Pretty sure that's Imbus. So, for those of you who don't know, that's New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. That's just an abbreviation for him. So, let's rock out. So, that's why. Not in freaking flight mode. There we go. I'm like, wait a second, the acceleration's a little bit off. Alright, we're almost at max speed. There we go. Boom. And there's a player flying by me. And they just left Endus, so now I know for sure that we're going in the right direction. And atmosphere hop in shortly, and boom, there we are. And we're coming in hot, so we can get nice re-entry effects. Because these ships are so well made, you don't have to worry about the scarring that's involved. Now that may come with future updates. CIG's floating that around. And saying that they want to add, like, you know, scarring to the ships and wear and tear, which, you know, I've got mixed feelings about. I got mixed feelings about that, because it just feels like a chore to me. But it could be just another thing that makes, you know, bringing in regular income worth it, right? Because you're gonna have to pay to have your ship docked. Alright, we're pretty close now. And it's so much easier to deaccelerate in Atma than it is in vacuum. For obvious reason. Like, we're already there. The deacceleration was going to be natural anyway, but, you know. The sun's already come up, but we're still not in Atmo. Like, we're 25 kilometers above sea level. We haven't gotten the handshake request from flight control. right. So, downside. Remember how I said this doesn't have cruise control? This is what I mean. So you have to just constantly be alert and aware. Now the good news is the thrust is very modular. Like you can create sense of cruise control because it has it, but it doesn't have the little air and the little arrow indicator. It's not the same kind of cruise control that I'm used to. Like, it just goes where you tell it to. So now it's gonna be tricky because, again, it's not guided. So landing this ship is going to take a little more skill than what I normally have to exhibit with the other ships. But because it's not a super big ship, you can get away with just using the landing gear. But you're going to have to put some work in for sure, to get good with flying this ship. Because, remember, the first time I took the ship out, I crashed it. Because I had no idea that it wasn't going to keep its altitude. Like, when this ship is in motion, your butt is in the seat. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, other explanations or reasons or excuses. You have to treat this like you treat an actual automobile, okay? Like, you have to. There's no other way around it. Okay. So this is the tricky part I'm talking about. I need enough thrust to hover into the landing zone. And I will never have this problem with another ship. Like, check this out. I literally almost kissed it. I almost ran into the hangar. You want to talk about a ship that makes you thankful for being alive? That's this one. I was never happier to hear the words landing complete until I flown this ship. This ship legit gave me anxiety. The entire time flying it. I may not have shown it. Because, one, you can't see my face, and two, I try to be as level-headed as possible about these things. But this ship terrifies me. It does. It terrifies me. Every time I get into the cockpit, it terrifies me. Because of things like that. You don't get the neat fancy pants guidance packages. You have to actually have skill. And I almost crashed the ship right against that sign. Because if you're not level, you're going to lurch forward. So it's not enough to control the throttle. You also have to be level. Whereas any other ship that I fly, you don't have to worry about that. Like, the Valkyrie was easier to, get to land safely than this one was.
For the latest updates on ship availability and gate assignments, please use one of the conveniently located terminals.
Somehow I have 2 Drake Buccaneers. Interesting. Yeah, we'll go ahead, stick that bad boy back. That's going to conclude the review. Everything else on this list, I have done reviews on. So, there's really nothing else I need to do here. And I've got 2 days to fly the rest of these bad boys. And that's what I plan on doing. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end the review here. And thank you guys for watching. Catch you next time.